Hi, it's Danielle Smith, your local realtor and your community enthusiast. So today we get to speak with Randy Fisher, one of the owners here at Five Vines Wine Bar. It's located in downtown San Juan Capistrano on Verdugo Street between the train station and Camino Capistrano. It is a welcoming gathering spot for wine enthusiasts, locals, anyone who walks through the door. So we're going to find out directly from Randy their inspiration for Five Vines, their passion behind the bar, the restaurant, and the wine, and how they've woven themselves into the community of San Juan Capistrano. So let's go talk to Randy and find out more. Hi, Randy.
Hello.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for meeting with me today and learning more about Five Vines Wine Bar here.
Of course.
And thanks for having a seat right here for me.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll save you the bar for you.
Yes, I did a little intro in front, but this is Randy Fisher. He is one of the owners here at Five Vines Wine Bar, and I just want to get right into it.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So tell us, how did Five Vines get here, created, inspired?
Okay, well, my wife and I, from the moment we met, we always knew we wanted to do a business together, a family-oriented business. I know it sounds weird to say that a wine bar is family-oriented. We had a variety of different ideas that we bounced around, but ultimately became a wine bar based upon my wife's experience in restaurants and special events, and my experience in doing, I brewed beer for a number of years. Then I got curious and then eventually obsessed with wine. So 30-some years of studying wine, we thought we would put our two bits of expertise together, what we consider to be expertise together, and try to build something that we could have our family involved in.
Yeah.
And the idea of doing a family business was we all wanted to be able to work here and spend time with each other.
Well, that's always nice.
That was the goal. And that's where the name Five Vines comes from.
Okay.
It's my wife and I and our 3 sons. So that's the logo represents our family tree.
So your creativity has started from the very beginning, because that's a creative name to come up with and very, very catchy.
Well, a lot of what we did was done by necessity. Trying to be creative, obviously, we always try to be creative and try to be different and try to come up with things that other people aren't doing. But ultimately, we try to come up with things that reflected us and reflected our family.
Well, perfect.
So that was the goal.
Perfect. Well, I know you're going on 10 plus years, and
13.
it's 13. Yeah, I knew it was that. I was giving you a little leeway.
We do have established 2013.
Yes, we love it. Yes, so I think that's perfect.
Yes.
Well, with that, I know you've learned to curate your wine list, so to speak.
Yes.
So you have an abundance of wine. You do have beers to choose from, but let's see, is there a unique story on how you decide what wines you're going to serve?
Yeah, well, the foundation of it all is us being a small family-owned business. We understand the struggle of, first of all, being a small business, but then the compounding factor of being a family-owned business, there's some complexities with that. And understanding those complexities, we try to support the wineries that are small family-owned wineries. So many of the wineries that we look for don't have a big presence in Southern California. Many of them don't even have tasting rooms. They're just making fantastic wine. Since this started off for us as being just a passion business, we really didn't expect it to become much when we first started it. We just wanted to do something fun for our family. We are finding wineries and winemakers that are doing exactly that. They're not trying to make a lot of money. They're just trying to make an incredible product. So that's where it starts. But my experience and understanding of wine started on the West Coast. So California, Oregon, Washington. So that's our primary focus. My philosophy on that is there are enough different microclimates and soil types and such on the West Coast of the United States to represent pretty much any varietal in the world. Now, again, it isn't where they come from. You know, it's not the original origin of these grapes, but some incredible wines come from the West Coast. So that's our focus, small family-owned wineries, West Coast.
I think it's fantastic. So I know every time I come here, I look at your wine list and I don't know exactly what to choose because my palate and my variety is all over. So if someone was to come here and did not know exactly where to start, how do you start them in the process of choosing a wine? And
well, this is also a foundational aspect of how we started this type of a wine bar.
Okay.
So we have over 65 wines, and all the wines that we serve, we do by the taste, by the glass, and by the bottle. It is entirely unique to wine bars. There's some complexity on our side. We have this many bottles open, and we have to do very specific things to preserve them all. But from the customer perspective, when you're looking at wines that are such small production and aren't out in the world, it does make for a very difficult decision. So sometimes you don't want to pay $15 for a glass for something you don't know, but you might want to be okay with spending $4 on a taste. So our goal is to help people kind of adventure and find the wines that they love. I always say the most sophisticated palate in our wine bar is yours, because only you know what you like. I can't tell you what you like. But if you tell me what types of things you like to drink, I can steer you something, amongst our 65 wines that you can check out. Maybe we pour you 3 or 4 tastes, and amongst those, you'll find something you like. If you like it, you get a glass. If you love it, you get a bottle. So that's kind of the philosophy behind it.
I like that. Tastings are very good.
Yes.
Yes.
And for you, what is it that you're liking this time of the year?
This time of the year, I tend to go to the rosé. So do you have a variety of rosés?
Well, I'll give you a little story if you don't mind, because
Please do.
every wine comes with a story. There's a small winemaker that I love. The winery is called Dude. And it's a couple of buddies that actually have primary jobs elsewhere. They work in the wine industry in Napa Valley, but through their jobs in Napa Valley, they have access to some very great fruit. They source fruit from these premium wineries. Some of these wineries are so premium, they can't even tell you where it comes from, because they're selling the wines for much less than what the main wineries are selling them for. They make incredible wine, but they only make a little bit. They make 200 cases of this and 300 cases of that. They don't have a tasting room. They have nothing. They just make incredible wine as a passion project of their own. So with that, I've got a Pinot Noir that's Russian River Valley. That's theirs. They make a rosé from that. So it's a rosé of Pinot.
What?
And it's fantastic. Yeah.
Okay.
From the Dude.
Thank you.
And
All right.
cheers to us.
Cheers. Ooh, very nice.
I love wine.
I love
Happy to be in this business.
That's perfect. I love that. I love wine. Happy to be in this business. That's amazing. Thank you. Now I have this wine in front of me and it's absolutely delicious, but I know with the wine comes your award-winning food that you have here. So you've won several awards from the Taste of San Juan Capistrano, hence the Swallow's Cup that's behind him. Now tell us about your menu, because year one, it was not so much, and it's been growing and growing and growing.
Yes.
And I know it changes during the seasons and stuff like that. So tell us a little about the menu.
When we very first opened, my wife made me promise we would never be a restaurant. So we put in a small kitchen, knowing that when people are drinking wine, they want something to accompany that. So we had a small menu of 6 or 8 things. It grew to maybe 15 or 20 things. But then when we hit the COVID period of time, we were asked, I guess, suggested that we serve food with everybody that comes in. That's right. That was part of the rules. So the more food that people tried of ours, the more they liked it. And the more they liked it, the more they asked us to do more. So during the COVID period, we put in a whole commercial kitchen, a 300 square foot commercial kitchen. It was a bit of a risk, not knowing how long COVID was going to happen. It's quite the investment, but we did it. It was the same time that we brought in our new chef. And our chef, executive chef Omar, is friends with my wife. They had worked together for some 13 years at another restaurant. We were thrilled to be able to pull him over here. He helped us build out this new kitchen. And through that, we got to extend our menu. And it was a little bit of a slow growth because people really didn't know we did food. That's one of the reasons we joined Taste of San Juan, is get some exposure for our food and let people know that we actually make food. And we're happy to say that from that very first year, we only entered one item, which was an appetizer, which was Chef Omar's soup. And since that point, he's won Best Appetizer every year with a different soup every year. So he is known to be the soup master, but we've also kind of added different dishes along the way too. As we become more comfortable with our kitchen and grown our own menu, we expanded the offering at the Taste of San Juan to the point at which this year we won all 5 categories first place. And I hate to brag, but I will. First time in the history of the event that one restaurant has won all the categories.
Yes.
So we are thrilled, especially coming from a place where we said we'd never be a restaurant.
Exactly.
And now we're in a place where food is a large portion of what we do.
Oh, it's amazing. It's great. And I will tell you, I agree with the soup. I always find out what is your soup of the month, right?
Yes.
It changes monthly.
Yep.
So I do enjoy all his soups, but I will tell you his creamy soups during the winter months, those are the ones where I'm like, I will take that.
It's coming.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So with that said, it does change seasonally. You do have a little bit of a seasonal change in your menu.
Yeah, that was something that adding that new kitchen afforded us a little more flexibility. So we do very much like our wines. We rotate our wines pretty frequently. Having a list that's so big, it gives us the opportunity to bring in a lot of new stuff and keeps people looking for the next new thing. We do the same thing with our beers, and we thought, well, heck, if that's our theme with our beer and wine, we should do it with our food as well.
Yeah.
So there's about 20% of our menu, 8 to 10 things every season that we change to reflect the season. And not only to reflect the season, but also to bring more creativity. So people want to come in and find, what's the new soup? What's the new steak? What's the new pasta? Keep things fresh for everybody.
Oh, that's obviously, yes. That's why I look and see what you have. And your Instagram is fantastic.
Well, that's my wife, Susie.
Susie.
Yes.
That's very
the mad
good.
scientist of Instagram.
Oh, she does fantastic. Now, with that said, going on your menu, is there an item that's been on there since maybe day one or not that you suggest that everyone should try?
Well, I have to tout the very first item we ever had on our menu,
Yep.
which is Mormor's famous cheese ball.
Yep.
So Mormor is Swedish for your mother's mother, so your grandmother. That is my wife's mother. She's from Sweden. That was her main contribution to the menu when we first opened. Knowing that we weren't going to do a lot of big food, she contributed the recipe to the cheese ball. And in the first year that we were open, she made all of them by hand. She was 79 years old, I believe, maybe 80 years old, and made everyone by hand that first year. And by the time we got to the end of the first year, she said, "I'm done, I retire. You can have the menu or the recipe." And then that caused a little bit of infighting because my wife's sister didn't get the recipe.
Oh,
So we got the recipe, and that's for the 13 years we've been here, that's been a staple on our list. We've since even added it to our cheese board. So if you're going to get a cheese board, that could be an option to your cheese as well.
That's right. Yes, yes. My sister and brother-in-law tend to always get the cheese board because they adore it. So I tend to get the soup or the green goddess salad.
Green goddess salad.
Yes.
That was one of our seasonal items that actually grew into a regular mainstay on the menu.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. And since then, I've had plenty more of your items, and I love it. Well, you have this amazing space. You have the space over on the side here that you've taken over not too long ago.
Well, this was part of our expansion during COVID when we added the kitchen upstairs.
Okay.
Since our building went through a remodel, it gave us the opportunity to expand a little bit. We also expanded over here and added what we call the Snug Lounge.
I know you have a lot of different events and experiences that you have here. I've partaken several of them. I know you have the space upstairs, so why don't we go explore that space upstairs real quick?
Perfect. Grab your wine. Have wine, we'll travel.
Yes.
And careful on the stairs because these are original.
All right, so here we are in your larger event space, and this is where the events happen, the experiences happen. So let's elaborate because there's a lot that goes on up here. And
yeah, this was a very fortuitous thing for us. We started off as just the wine bar downstairs, and we had that for many years. There came a time when there used to be a Catholic bookstore up here. But when the Mission opened their Catholic bookstore, this one went out of business, unfortunately. But then our building owner offered us the space. The challenge was that these stairs didn't exist.
Oh.
So we had to connect the two spaces. We said, we'll lease the space if you allow us to connect them. So we cut out the floor, we connected the stairs, and then we were able to utilize the space and build it all out. And we've built everything in here between the walls, the tables, the bricks, everything in here. The bar was all our doing. And then all the creative inspiration of my wife, Susie. It was all her vision. But also this was done for her. So before we came here, her 13 years of experience before that was doing special events. So we always knew we wanted a space. We just never knew this would come available. And again, that's where I say the fortuitous part of it. So this is where my wife, Susie, focuses her time in doing all the special events. And like you said, anything from birthdays, baby showers, wedding showers, to actual weddings and rehearsal dinners and receptions, corporate dinners. We do a little bit of everything up here because that's where she comes from.
fantastic.
Yes.
So with this space, do each of the 5 vines have a role?
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. So when we very first opened, all 5 of us worked here. So my wife and I and the 3 boys all worked here. Our oldest son, I think, is probably the only smartest one. He got married and got a corporate job. He comes in and eats and drinks for free. But after about 2 years, he moved on, and he's still in the area and comes here, but doesn't work here anymore.
Okay.
But Susie, my wife, runs all the special events up here. She also has her famous book club.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Her book club that's up to well over 110 members now, which is a fantastic experience we do here as well. For myself, I have my own little side project that I do, which is our wine club. Our wine club is going on 11 years now that we've been doing it. And then Cole, our middle son, he's also our manager downstairs. He also does our murder mystery dinners. He does game night downstairs. He does all of our trivia, which he creates himself, which is fantastic.
Oh, it's hard.
I know. Doesn't make it easy, but makes it fun. Yes,
He does.
it does makes it fun. So that's his special thing. Our youngest son, who is actually, he is 22. He works as a server up here with my wife, and he helps support all the special events. Anything we do up here, he's part of that.
Wow. So everyone has their role, and they all love it, right?
We do.
So with your wine club, how many members do you think you have now?
Well, we have about 320. I'm trying to cap it. Since I do everything from the administrative side to wine ordering and shipping and delivery and everything. It's become about as much as I can do by myself. But it has been incredibly successful, more than I ever thought it would be. We started out to be kind of a fun marketing venture to get our name out there. And we created an incredible community of people that all love wine, love having fun. And many of our main day customers come in.
Oh, yeah. You do a great job. I've been here before, and it went from like one pickup party to a handful of pickup parties in a certain amount of time period, because you got to get everyone in there. So, and with that, and then your winemaker dinner, that's pretty
That's
cool.
another one of our special events we do up here. So once a month, we bring in a new winemaker. That winemaker then comes in and presents their wines over a dinner. So it's a 5-course dinner. So they have 5 wines that they present. But we also create an entirely new menu. We've never reused a menu item since we started doing this in 2018.
Wow.
So we test our chef every month with an entirely new menu. But again, the food is paired to the wine. Really, the focus is the wine part and the winemaker. It's always fantastic when you have these small winemakers that don't get a lot of exposure to have the opportunity to meet them and talk about their inspiration and where they come from. And again, a lot of it parallels kind of how we started our business. You know, it starts off as a passion.
Yep.
And it's just really fun to be able to meet those people and then have some great food and wine.
It's so fantastic. So this space is amazing. I had my birthday party here. Family members have had their reunion and their retirement
party.
parties. And
There was also, wasn't there an engagement party?
the engagement party.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a lot going on in here with my family. So and plenty of other families. And I love your space. I want to go check out outside and talk about how San Juan as a community and you as Five Vines have woven together to create what you are today. One of the other spaces that are out here, being in San Juan Capistrano and the community and Five Vines and how it's woven together to, be what it is today. How has this community helped you grow and vice versa? How have you helped the community?
Well, I think the whole reason that we ended up here in the first place was because of this community. There's a little bit of a story.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Stories are good.
my wife worked in restaurant business in Dana Point. I worked a corporate job where I was traveling a lot, and we live out in the Rancho Santa Margarita area. Since she worked nights and I worked days, it was tough for us to cross paths. So we would oftentimes meet in between shifts here in San Juan Capistrano because it's kind of halfway between our 2 jobs. So we'd meet here for lunch or dinner. We fell in love with this community. It's just such a little postage stamp of history and culture. It's just such a fantastic area. We love the people of the area. So we knew when we were looking for a business concept that it was going to be here.
Oh, fantastic.
We even found this space before we had our final decision to be a wine bar.
Oh.
We were still looking at other business concepts, but when we found this space, it cemented what we wanted to be, that we were going to do the wine bar. And I think from that point, we get reinforced all the time that what a great choice that we made, because it's this community that's really kept us afloat. Even during COVID, there was a lot of time in there where we were closed. We didn't do to-go business or pickup business. We had to really rely on our wine club members and our local customers to come in and buy stuff that they may not normally buy, but they're doing it just to keep us alive and keep us going. And it's still today, to this day, when we look across the dining room any particular night, you see all the regulars, you see all the locals, you see the people that are here just to support us. And again, that's the whole reason why we came here and the whole reason why we still exist.
See, it's a really good story, and it's always like finding out the story, and that keeps you rooted.
Yes.
Your Five Vines rooted in here.
That's why we call this space Roots.
Oh.
I don't know if you know that. So our event space we call Roots at Five Vines. Because when we were able to open this up, we were trying to come up with a name that tied into Five Vines. We started thinking about it because it was right during the whole COVID thing. The one thing that's kept us going is our customers and our staff and our family. And we consider them to be the roots that keep the Five Vines standing. So that's why we called it Roots.
That's a fantastic story. See, there's always like conversations that bring out the stories of why this, why that, and why it is what it is.
We try to be very purposeful about what we do, and sometimes it's hard because you got to be a little bit more creative, a little more thoughtful.
Yeah.
But and we did have a variety of different names for this space before we settled on Roots, but Roots made the most sense because those are just the people that really supported us.
It's a perfect one. So obviously it's just not like a glass of wine. I mean, it is when you come in, you just grab a glass of wine if you wanted to, but it's a lot about like community and the connections and the celebration of different experiences that you can offer here. So you're very much of a welcoming restaurant bar, wine bar.
Yeah.
And I've seen it from the beginning, and I appreciate you as a customer, and I appreciate what you've done to the community and bringing this area to life with your business. I wish you and the family, all four, the rest of them,
Yes. Yeah.
all the best in everything you've done in the past, the present, and the future. And cheers to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.